Hear that? That's your gut. Now, would you really trust that same gut to make important decisions for your business? Well, you shouldn't. That's what SurveyMonkey is for. SurveyMonkey can help give you insight from real people that you need to make those big decisions with confidence. And AI from SurveyMonkey makes that faster and easier than ever before. It allows you to build a survey in seconds with just a simple prompt. You can even do it right from your phone. Advanced analysis tools are also powered by AI and are there when the responses pour in to help you dig deep, find patterns, and surface trends quickly. So give SurveyMonkey a try and give your gut a break. Shh. Try it for yourself at surveymonkey.com/human-AI.
Hello. Hi. How you doing? I didn't want to curse, but I was just about to rap you some Lil Wayne. Normally, True Crime Tuesday is a celebration of humanity's dumbest criminals, like the people who steal a car and then go back to ask for the keys or something. But this week, I'm diving into a very special category of chaos, and that's petty revenge that escalated into full-blown felonies. Because let's be honest, we all have a petty bone in our body. Someone cuts you off in traffic and suddenly you're like, I hope an iced coffee spills in your lap today. Because that's what I say to people when they cut me off. I hope your coffee sucks. And I hope your peanut butter and jelly sandwich doesn't taste good. You know what? I'm going to say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow. Anybody remember that video? But anyway, these people said, no, petty is for amateurs. And then they threw themselves into criminal court like it was the Olympics. So buckle up, grab your snacks, and maybe your emotional support, mozzarella sticks. Because speaking of mozzarella sticks, I have a freezer full because I got a huge bag from Costco. And I'm so excited to eat them. But anyway, today's stories are unhinged, unnecessary, and brought to you by the letters W, T, and F. Okay, so our first story today takes us to North Carolina, land of sweet tea, barbecue, and apparently men who go full Looney Tunes when they don't like where you park your car. So there's this guy, we'll call him Trenchmaster 3000, okay? He already had a long, messy, dramatic neighbor feud brewing, okay? So we're talking shouting matches, property line arguments, even a previous arrest for assault with a firearm, because nothing says I'm well adjusted like bringing a gun to a driveway disagreement. So the most recent issue was parking. Not murder, not money, not cheating, parking. This man got so annoyed about his neighbor's vehicle placement that he said, you know what? I'm not arguing anymore. So instead of, using words or calling, a mediator, can you do that? First, I don't know. Anyway, he dug a trench, a 70-foot long, 2-foot wide, 2-foot deep trench. Sorry I'm interrupting you in the middle of me telling this story, but I just took a break to make some hot chocolate and I am so excited to drink it. You have no idea. But anyway, this dude was prepping for trench warfare. He expected tanks to roll down the cul-de-sac at dawn. So residents start calling the county all hi, yes, we can no longer leave our homes because Carl has built a moat. And then deputies arrive and they're like, sir, why? And he actually says, I didn't want him parking near my driveway. Well, congratulations, sir. You just solved nothing and now everyone needs a forklift just to get around. And this wasn't even the first incident. He'd already been arrested in this feud for assault with a firearm, so clearly the man had a track record of turning minor inconveniences into major court dates. So here's what happened legally. He was charged with injury to real property, communicating threats, and violating a no-contact order, which is basically legal speak for, sir, stop terrorizing your neighbor and go sit in the corner. The county had to fix the road because it became a literal safety hazard for emergency vehicles, delivery drivers, and school buses, and all that fun stuff. So the moral of the story is, if your neighbor parks too close to your driveway, get over it, I guess. I don't know. Okay, besties. Buckle up because this next story is so unhinged, so deeply Florida-coded, so full Chernobyl chaos, that you're probably going to think I like made it up or something. But I didn't. I wish I did, but I didn't. My imagination is powerful, but even I cannot invent this level of poultry-fueled madness.
At Maurice's, we're all about great jeans. You know, the ones that fit you just right. The ones that simply make you feel good. Because you don't just wear jeans, you live in them. Find great jeans starting at $29.90 in stores and at Maurice's.com.
So we're heading to Florida, naturally, specifically to a neighborhood where a 61-year-old man had long-standing beef with his neighbor over, deep inhale, peacocks. Not roosters, not noisy dogs, not some HOA drama. Peacocks. The bougie birds. The ones that scream like demons and walk around like they own real estate. So this man had a bunch of pet peacocks he cared for on his property. His neighbor, who I can only describe as the Disney princess of the block, kept feeding them. And feeding peacocks leads to peacocks returning. Often and loudly, and also in groups. So apparently this drove our guy over the edge. So he didn't speak to his neighbor. He didn't call animal control. He didn't put up a fence. He didn't move. He went into like full supervillain mode. He allegedly killed the peacocks, cooked the peacocks, and then ate the peacocks, all while knowing they were someone's beloved pets. Not only that, he then wrote his neighbor a graphic letter describing what he did to them, like he was starring in a Food Network show from like the seventh circle of hell. Imagine opening your mailbox expecting coupons and instead getting a manifesto titled Feast of Retribution. The neighbor was so horrified, she immediately went to the police, who arrested him on charges including felony animal cruelty, harassment, and delivering threatening written communication. The arrest report described the letter as disturbing, graphic, and intentionally intimidating. The neighbor said she feared for her safety. Completely valid because, hello? And the kicker is that this whole revenge escalated because she fed the birds. But, sir, I think you need to seek help and find a therapist who specializes in bird-related trauma. And the moral of the story is, if your neighbor feeding wildlife bothers you, do not respond by reenacting a medieval feast. This is suburbia, not Game of Thrones. Okay, deep breath, because this next story is where Petty packs its bags, moves out, and leaves us with straight-up homicidal chaos. We're going to Wisconsin, where a long-standing neighbor grievance between two families turned into a tragedy that reads like a Lifetime movie written by a very angry raccoon. So meet Jeffrey Andres, a 67-year-old man who had some kind of ongoing issue with his neighbors. This feud wasn't over like noise or a tree branch or who's responsible for mowing the 4 inches of grass between the properties. This one apparently stemmed from what he believed was a crime someone in the other family committed against his family. Officials haven't released the nature of that alleged crime, so we don't know what actually happened or if anything ever did. But this man held on to that anger like it was a family heirloom, okay? And one day, that anger exploded. So it's a quiet evening, and a mom, her son, and their dog are out for a walk near their home. The most normal, everyday, suburban activity in existence. But Jeffrey sees them, and in a moment that can only be described as, sir, what the hell, he allegedly gets into his SUV, accelerates toward them, and intentionally drives straight into the family. Not swerved, not lost control, not a medical emergency, intentionally. So he ended up striking all three, and unfortunately, the mom, who was 42, and the family dog died, like both of them did. The teenage son survived, but he was seriously injured. And then this wasn't petty anymore. This was violent, deliberate, and horrific. Witnesses said it looked like revenge, like he aimed the vehicle. Police agreed, and he was arrested and charged with homicide, reckless endangerment, animal cruelty, hit and run, and a laundry list of felony counts that basically translate to, sir, you have ruined everything. But this story has an even darker twist. While he was in jail awaiting trial, he was found dead in his cell. And the sheriff's department said it appeared to be suicide, though the investigation is still technically open. So now the case sits in this bizarre state where a woman and her dog are gone, a teenage boy is traumatized, the alleged killer died before facing trial, and the court will never fully resolve what actually led to this. And honestly, it's a reminder that some people do not need access to vehicles, neighbors, opinions, or daylight. Okay, this one is international chaos. This one proves that petty revenge knows no borders, no boundaries, and apparently no fire safety regulations. So we're going all the way to Australia, where a 40-year-old demolition worker named Damien Curran learned he was being removed from the work roster. And did he handle it with grace? Did he send a strongly worded email? Did he update his resume and move on with his life? No. No. And no. This man said, I will respond the exact opposite way every therapist recommends. And then he went full on, like, I don't even know what. Okay, so here's what happened. Curran gets taken off the employment roster, and he's furious, and he stews, he paces, he plots. He probably monologues in a mirror about betrayal. And then he decides the best way to handle this is to get revenge on his former supervisor, a man who was probably just trying to manage his schedule and not get sued. So, Curran breaks into the ex-supervisor's house, goes through his belongings, steals a rare coin collection, a stamp collection, luxury watches, and even his birth certificate, because why not? And then, because apparently burglary wasn't dramatic enough, he pulls out a cigarette lighter and sets 2 fires inside the house, 1 in each bedroom. Just lights it up. Then he flees the scene, leaving the house smoldering, and the owners coming home to find their belongings torched and half of their property destroyed. Fire investigators later said the house easily could have burned down entirely if the flames had caught the curtains or the ceiling insulation. It was only luck, literal luck, that stopped this from turning into a fatal fire. Police, of course, identify him quickly because the house had CCTV, he left fingerprints, he stole easily traceable items, and the burglary/arson combo was so specific it might as well have been signed with his name. So he's arrested, charged, and the judge absolutely roasted him in court, basically saying his actions were calculated, dangerous, vindictive, and completely disproportionate to losing a job. So he was sentenced to 3 years and 9 months in prison, with a minimum of 2 years and 3 months before he is eligible for parole, which honestly feels light for an I burned your home because you took me off the schedule thing. But okay, Australia, go off. So the moral of the story is, when you get fired, I shouldn't say when you get fired, if you get fired, not when. If you get fired, don't respond by committing burglary, arson, breaking and entering, identity theft, and emotional damage. Take a walk, eat a snack, and cry in your car like the rest of us.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Okay, it's time for the Docket of Dumb, the segment where I take a brief intermission from full-length chaos to celebrate the weirdest headlines humanity produced this week. These aren't full crimes, these are moments. Moments where the universe looked at someone and said, this is your villain origin story. I'm doing this a little different this week, so let's begin. Man arrested after breaking into animal shelter to get his cat back, but also took 3 random dogs. Listen, I get wanting to rescue your cat from the shelter, but this man was like, I'm not just getting my pet, I'm getting all the pets. But also felt, because I also would take all the pets. Woman calls 911 to report her stolen marijuana, immediately arrested for possession. But babe, you cannot call the police to file a missing persons report for your weed. That's not how any of this works. But also, I feel like that's something I would do. Florida man leads police on a low-speed chase in a motorized Walmart cart. And I'm sorry, but this is art, okay? Art. This man was going 3 miles an hour with full confidence, just gliding across the parking lot like a Roomba with a dream. Police didn't even chase. They probably just walked briskly behind him. Like, sir, pull over. Bank robber hands teller a note written on his own payroll stub. Now, this is getting a little ridiculous, okay? Because the last time it was written on his birth certificate. I mean, people are dumb. People are dumb. I know I said that twice, but now I know why Red always called teenagers dumbasses. Because teenagers, my teenagers are dumbasses. But also people in general are just, the only word I can think of to describe them is dumbass. Man tried to fake his own death, but his death certificate was signed by a dog. I have so many questions. Why a dog? Why a dog? How? How a dog? Was the signature a paw print? And how did he think it was going to work? That's wild. And that concludes today's Docket of Dumb, where I remind you every week that humanity is not okay. But at least they give us incredible content. And that, my friends, concludes another episode of True Crime Tuesday, where the crimes are questionable, the choices are concerning, and the petty revenge is, honestly, somewhat inspirational. Today we witnessed a man who built a 70-foot trench because parking is apparently a war crime, a Florida gentleman who resolved a bird dispute by hosting a medieval peacock banquet, a neighbor feud that went full Greek tragedy, and an ex-employee who responded to being fired by starting an arson-based side quest. Please remember, if something annoys you, do not commit a felony. Eat a snack, take a nap, vent in your group chat, don't go full Florida man. It's just not worth jail and the mugshot. To all of my spooky little weirdos listening on Nighthawk Radio, hello, thank you for being here. And if you're tuning in on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, or whatever random app you found while doom scrolling at 3 a.m., make sure you follow, subscribe, leave a glowing review that makes it sound like I'm famous, and share the episode with a friend who thrives on chaos. And now, the moment you know that I live for, it's the song of the week. And this week's featured track is from Lost Note, and it is Chef's Kiss. Absolutely delicious. Unbelievably beautiful. And it's called The Perfect Death, and it's like the stripped down version, so it's so fucking good. But hit play, close your eyes, and let your soul ascend into the emotional void. I will see you on Friday. You will hear me on Friday for more chaos and more conspiracies and more reasons to question humanity. Until then, stay weird, stay curious, go be kind to someone for no reason, and go be amazing.
She's got Coming at you live from Auto Trader, here's New Car Energy.
They're searching inventory. You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. It's smarter car shopping just for
Find
you.
your next ride at autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.